and how. So these are the 7 interrogatives. That's your English and grammar coming into action. So you keep your interrogatives in the back of your head. That gives you 7 questions that you must adhere to. You take your 7 questions, you catapult them into 21 questions. You ask 7 questions in the past of the why. You ask 7 questions in the past of the who. Ask 7 questions in the past of the when, and the rest of them. So you take those 7 times this 3, that gives you 21. Then you catapult them to the benchmarking table where you multiply them now by 4. In the east, why? In the past, why? In the present, why? In the future, who, when, where, what, and etc. And by the time you're done with the 7 over there, plus these ones, you have your first 49 questions that you must be dealing with. So to every question that you are asked, you must have 49 other questions that you can ask a question. And after you've asked the 49 question, then question the question. Then you're getting to the intention. I'll give you a simple example. A boy walks up to you tonight and say, I love you. So ask and tell the boy, why? That's a stupid question. Just be funny for once and say where. Where do you want to love me? And that's a deeper question than the why. The why can be selfish, but the what and the where are giving you a physical address. That gives you a first hashtag. That before you can reproduce, as she was saying, make sure that you have an address. If you want to get me pregnant, no problem. Just make sure that it's on your land. Let's have your address, and you can do it there, because you can't love me on WhatsApp, you can't love me on Twitter, you can't love me on Instagram. I need a physical address where I can reproduce. That gives you a really different branding of your product. Hashtag number 2, which you can always remember, you can't give a person land between your legs when they don't own the land between their 2 ears. These are philosophical concepts, but within them, there is depth of thought that says, before you can tamper with my reproduction, I want to make sure that your goods are in your right space. Hashtag number 3, when the face is beautiful and the software is not working, hardware always suffers. It sounds a bit off, but simply put, it means that you can't have a beautiful face and the contents of your mind are cheaper than the cosmetics on your face. And that's not only a cosmetic question, that's a philosophical question. I am saying when a country is beautiful, when a country has resources, but the administration and the leaders of those countries is not working properly, the resources of those countries are always going to the poor and to those that are smart. Hashtag number 4, therefore the genitalia of a drunk person does not belong to them. No, that's not being arrogant. When you are drunk, you don't know who is there. I'm not being vulgar. I'm speaking politics. When the country is fast asleep, their resources will be taken by those that are sober. You understand that part there? So as you think and you're processing thoughts, then you don't need to become a philosopher. You just start thinking not in the box, not out of the box, just bend the damn box and think. You don't need reference to anything, because all stuff that is around you are learning possible objectives. The password is ask yourself the right questions. You will always be able to get the right answers. Then someone walks up to me, MAPONGA J, so you no longer believe in Jesus. So what do you say about Jesus? I don't have a problem. I go on the stage and I go to the north. What do they believe? I go to the south. What do they believe? I go to the east. What do they believe? I go to the west. What do they believe? I come over here. What do they believe in the past? What are they believing in the present? What would they believe in the future? I come over here. Why did they believe? How did they believe? Who did they believe? Which and etc. By the time I'm done with this thing here, I've got 49 questions. I don't need a God or a Jesus who needs a passport to come to me. Because every one of us, from where we are, we can access the divinity. So for me, this is what I call a thinking tool 101, which can allow you to process huge amounts of information, tons of information, without referring to any book whatsoever. You simply dig into your reservoir of knowledge, processing all thoughts by simply asking questions. You are able to start putting information in correct clusters in your head. And this, for me, is the best business plan writer you can ever find in the world. Take any idea and put it right there. Where will it work? East, north, west. Where is the technology? Where is the information? Where is the human resource? Where do I get the money? How? When? Where? 7 times later, come here. Who will do the business? Where will we do it? Why are we doing it? And come over here. Is this for the present? Is this for the future? They're already building legacy right here. And without necessarily consulting a business person, by the time you walk to someone to rewrite it for you, the idea has been harvested thoroughly in your mind. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Then someone says, I want to be like you. Now you know, it's not easy. You're a nightmare. My head is a superhighway of questions. When we were young, we believed everything. Now we are old, we question everything. When we are sober, we question even the question. The intention of the question. I think that's where I can stop for now.
Okay.
Otherwise, I can lecture to you all night. And I hope that this could have been a window of information for someone. Take some time, rewrite this for yourselves when you get back home. Next year when I come, I promise you, I actually have a thinking tool that I have designed that actually encapsulates this into a tool, a walking stick, where I've calibrated this. Don't worry, it only has a few lines on it, and then I can show you how to read it. I take my stick, I sit in the garden, I pick any idea, and I start walking along that stick and inquiring for myself. And I activate my mind to the whole cosmology of life, to mathematics, to agriculture, to business, and etc. And when you become more intelligent like me one day, on the 7 here, then you can put your governance, you can put your agriculture, you can put your education, economics and business, sports and entertainment, health and technology, ultimately spirituality. Then you can again take the same interrogatives, put subjects on them, pitch them on the campus, and then ask the concept of time. I give you the last one. Time, when I was young, I was told that time is linear. You start here, you go there, you go there. It's year 1, year 2, year 3, 1991, 92, 93, 94, 95. I came to the east, I was told, no, you're wrong. Time is not linear. Time is cyclical. Time is a zodiac. It starts. You know, they go around, you're Cancerian, you're Pisces, you're what. I sat down and I inquired, I discovered these people are lying to me. Time is not linear, because no one has ever seen tomorrow, and yesterday has never left us. I never saw yesterday greeting hands with tomorrow, and they shake hands. No, time is an illusion. And I came up to a conclusion in the corridors of my thinking. Time is not linear, time is not cyclical, time is vertical. We're living in the ever abundance of the present tense. Yesterday has never left, tomorrow is never coming. We're living in the abundance of the present tense. I stopped being MAPONGA J. I am being. The participle of life becomes the correct punctuation of existence. You are not yet what you want to be. You are constantly changing. You are growing into. There's no present perfect tense here. There's the RNM. You are what? Your story is not yet concluded. Shut up a little bit. Say, I am being. I am trying to, I am moving toward. And in the midst of that development, then learning becomes a preoccupation of the intelligent. With those few words, this is how I want you to think. This is how I want you to feel. This is how I want you to do. I thank you.
Thank you.
Put your hands together for yourself. Put your hands together.